Kia ora, my name is Whārau Slaisanda and welcome to ohoakebooks.com. Tonight, I'm going to talk about two books that basically wrote themselves due to the nature of the circumstances that happened in my life in 2014. Let's start with The Eyes of Love See All by Pablo Wairua. So I had a connection with somebody who I had loved for about 10 years since I met her. And in 2014, I was still in the frame of being, in regards to my self-identity, being somebody that was open to having intimate interactions with women in a way that was more lower and more base, I guess. But I wanted to change that. I wanted to move into my heart space and have more integrity in my actions, or at least for me, more integrity in my actions and in my deeds. Same thing, and words. So this particular person came into my life looking for the old me, and I was moving into this new phase of me identifying myself being somebody else. She wanted me to be the old me. She wanted the old me. So we had a few interactions and hung out, and it was beautiful. We had this amazing connection, and I could see us developing towards a potential relationship, which is what I wanted with her. But she wanted something else. And eventually I got to the point where I began to realize this, and what happened next was I went to bed one night and had a dream. And I woke up in a dream in a room with two people lying in a bed in front of me. And I felt kind of voyeuristic at first, and I thought, what am I doing here? As you would, right? And then another form of me, another me, literally another me. And this is where I get my multidimensional experience from, which is empirical. I know that this is for real after this experience. Incredible experience, really. I woke up, this me, other me in the bed woke up, saw me, sat up, came around and put his hand on my shoulder and said to me, shh, come a little closer. And the woman in my dimension that I had this attraction to was lying in the bed next to him. When he got out of the bed, she was lying in the bed, and he said, come with me, come with me. And he pushed the door open, and we walked into the hallway, and he closed the door just slightly ajar, and she kind of moaned and rolled over to see where he'd gone to, right, and then she went back to sleep again, right. And he said to me, in this dimension, you're not in your own dimension, you're in another dimension. And in this dimension, she and I are married. But I want to show you something first before I tell you the whole story. Come with me. So you walk down this corridor. At the end of this corridor was a massive, enormous window, right? Going down 2 flights of stairs. Huge window, double glazed. I could see a spiral arm of a galaxy in the window in the night sky. It was spectacular. Spectacular. He said, come with me into the room. And we went to this room. And there were two bunks like that. One bunk this way, one bunk that way. And he walked over quietly to these bunks, and there were two little girls sleeping who both looked like their mother. And the me in this other dimension said to me in the dream, me the dreamer, this girl at the top is 5 years old, her name is Iho. And the little one here, she just turned 3. Her name is Gwiazda. It's Polish for star. Come with me. We have to go downstairs and have a chat. So we went downstairs, and as I'm walking down the stairwell, looking at this enormous spiraling, moving arm of a galaxy, we get downstairs, and it's all double glazed doors, French doors, all the way across. Beautiful view. And I recognize the lake right away. It's TEKAPO, right? It's TEKAPO, as in TEKAPO in the MACKENZIE Basin in the South Island. I'm like, this isn't TEKAPO that I know. He says to me, you're in a parallel universe. In this universe, she and I get married, and these are our children. But where you've come from, you need to let her go. You need to let her go. You need to find a way to let her go. Put everything you feel for this woman into a creative project and let her go. And he gave me a hug, and then I woke up in my bed. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck? And after that instance, about a week later, all these insane short stories, beautiful, beautiful short stories, began to compound in my mind. I began to see each one manifesting the story. I hear Pablo's voice, and I thought, I've got to write these. So I took 2 weeks off work, and in 2 weeks, I wrote The Eyes of Love See All, first draft. And as I'm finishing off this book, as my way with short stories, Lord Buford Somerset comes chiming in, and he wants to share some horror macabre tales to get out of his mind, to share, to free himself from going completely insane. So here I am, finishing up The Eyes of Love See All, and then I begin to write The Wall Begins to Fall, which is Lord Buford Somerset's second collection of short stories. Now, writing these short stories, these horror macabre short stories, I mean, I have to admit and be honest with you, I love delving into the shadow. It's my Scorpio wiles, I know, Scorpio ways. I love going into the darkness. Death is intriguing to me, as is transformation, as is sex. I'm a Scorpio, hey, it's just the way I roll. But these short stories, these horror macabre short stories, if The Darkness Holds Sway was fantastic, these were the mirror reflection of The Eyes of Love See All. They were so inventive, so fucking dark, but beautiful in their expression of that shadow darkness, that just wonderful, a wonderful foil for The Eyes of Love See All. So I wrote these 2 books in about 2 months, first draft for each book together, and they were probably the easiest books to write for me because they basically wrote themselves. And I love these books, these 2 collections of short stories, for that reason alone, because I was so inspired by this muse to write The Eyes of Love See All, but as the way when I'm writing beautiful, heartfelt short stories, Pablo Wairua short stories, I always have Lord Buford Somerset come along and go, well, hang on a minute, seeing you're in that space and you're being receptive, here's some horror macabre short stories I'm going to dish up for you to write about, to write. And these wonderful short stories as well, they are sincerely dark, but truly beautiful and incredibly inventive. And I love Buford for that, his ability to cross so many levels of existence and take the most horrendous and probably most macabre stories and weave a tapestry of amusement for me as I'm writing these short stories. Truly fantastic. 2 wonderful collections of short stories. Please buy them, read them, and review them. I'd appreciate it immensely. Thanks for watching. As always, Matewa. I'll see you soon.